So if this is the reality of where we're at right now, emotionally, psychologically, then here are a few things that I want to cast light on in terms of how to deal with it. First of all, we all need permission to feel. So the sadness, the frustration, the fears and anxieties, they're all real. They're all based on real things, and we deserve to feel those things and express them. Where a lot of kids struggle is they try to bottle it up and ignore it and suppress it, and as a result, it costs us even more energy. And so as parents, giving your kids just that outlet to talk it out, to cry it out, to express what they need to express, because once it's released, it's on the outside of us, and we're in a healthier place. And even for our own part, we all need that right now. Some way of getting emotion out rather than allowing it to kind of consume us from the inside. So it's exercise, it's talking about it, it's crying about it, it's writing it out. Any of those things can be great outlets for emotion. Another thing that and the kids look at me sideways when I say this, but if you have 60% of the energy that you normally do, then maybe we have to lower the bar a little bit right now. And they go, lower the bar, like that's just so antithetical to everything that we always talk about in terms of performance. But we're not asking them to give less than what they have. We're just knowing that they have less, we're asking them to give all of that. So it's a lot of kids, and I've had the conversation with adults and kids where they'll get home at the end of the day and they're just gassed, like they've given as much energy as they thought they had, and when they think, okay, I need to put in 4 or 5 hours of more schoolwork, they can't even get started. They get on Netflix and then they're just stuck, can't even, just because they feel like they're standing at the bottom of Everest. So if the goal becomes, okay, my goal is first to get my books open. So maybe when I get home, I'm going to have a nap, a little recharge. I'll set an alarm so I get a little bit of rest, and then a little snack, and then open the books. Once your books are open and you can kind of see that first page, then usually we can get started. You think, well, I want to make sure the kind of secondary goal, I want to make sure I get in a good hour of math tonight. And once you get on a roll, like once you're on a roll, quite often you'll be like, okay, it's been an hour, but I just want to get past number 12 in the workbook. So by lowering the bar, by setting a goal that's smaller, we can get into a little bit of a rhythm, and there's a better chance that we'll get more of that chunk accomplished. And the chunky's another part. If and with your kids, because they'll say, oh, I've got this and this and this to do. Like, there's no way I'm going to be able to get all this done. You guys have heard it. You've been in those conversations where they're exhausted, but they're also desperately anxious and stressed about what they have to do. And to just say, like, okay, it's okay. What's the first thing? What's the most important thing? And let's get started on that. They say, yeah, but I got all this stuff. I'll never. No. Like, what's the first thing? Let's just get that done, and then we'll see from there. So just kind of chunking the work into like manageable little bits that they can do. If they're told like that's the goal, it's just get that one little thing done. You're going to have more success that way. Another thing is modeling it for them. If you're willing to talk about the fact that you're feeling anxious or stressed, or like, how are you guys feeling? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, like I just woke up and I'm a 6 right now. Like just normalizing the emotions that we're all going through. Because if you acknowledge the headwind you're walking into, then you understand it better when your pace isn't what you're used to. Also, doing the same things for yourself. Rest when you need to. Giving yourself those little kind of mental health moments that allow you to recharge and just find a little bit of happiness or hope. Another thing, and this is so big for our edge athletes, is they're used to pushing right to the limit of what they can do to try and get a little bit better each day, and sometimes it involves being really self-critical, pushing yourself kind of past pain and past exhaustion, past those things. But right now, when the stress level is as high as it is and the energy level is kind of chronically low, everyone's just a little closer to that that danger zone in terms of their mental health. And so we, in that balance of kind of push and staying healthy, the scales are really tipped away from our mental health right now. So we want to make a priority of it and make sure when someone's kind of reaching that threshold where they don't feel like they can handle it, that you pump the brakes and say, hey, let's take a break. Let's talk it out, let's cry it out, let's take a day, whatever you need to do in order to kind of maintain some level of function and recovery. But then finally, I hear from a lot of kids, I'm just trying not to get my hopes up, which sounds logical, but right now, hope may be the only thing that can kind of sustain us and keep us going. And so that protecting ourselves from optimism can ultimately and chronically, pull us into even more of a funk. And so whatever you can do just to manufacture some moments, like is this a happy time? Not really, but can we find happy moments? Yes, whether it's a favorite meal or watching movies together or going for a walk or playing with your dog or juggling the soccer ball with your kid in the yard, just finding little moments where the pandemic and all those things can be forgotten, and you just have that that joy of play and connection and comfort that we all really need.